Dogs mark their territory by peeing on their favorite tree. Apparently, men mark their territory by using their dog to assert dominance over the women and children of the family. At least, according to this one wild Reddit. This dad refuses to give up his dog's room for his newborn baby. Yeah, we're scratching our heads too. In the My Hole subreddit, a mom writes that she and her husband Chris live in a 4-bedroom house with Opus's 2 daughters, ages 16 and 10. Husband and wife share a room and the daughters each have their own room, which should leave just enough space for the new arrival to have their own room, too. Except that's where the dog sleeps. Now with a baby on the way, we've been going back and forth on where we should put the nursery. My husband flat out said that his dog's room was off limits and casually asked me to pick one of the girls' rooms and have them share a room. How is this a debate or more than a 5-minute conversation? It should be. Wife, hey, the baby's almost here, let's set up her nursery. Husband, okay, I'll move the dog's crate and toys to the living room this weekend. End of discussion. Yet, he unbelievably prioritizes his dog's privacy over his own kids, which is especially strange since dogs typically love being around their humans, not locked up in a room alone. The mom couldn't believe it either. I was shocked when he suggested that, she wrote. I argued with him asking if he was serious about this suggestion, then called him unreasonable. He yelled at me saying I cannot be acting shocked and call him the unreasonable one when my 10-year-old daughter has a room all for herself. I flipped and called him delusional and we had a big argument, then stopped talking to each other. This man actually compared a dog having his own room to a 10-year-old kid having her own room. On what planet are these two things actually comparable? As someone who grew up without the space for their own room, I know just how valuable not sharing is. Yet, this dad has his panties in a wad. He's pissed saying I clearly think so little of his dog to be so willing to kick him out of his room. Then reminded me of whose abuse this is, which I thought was uncalled for and unfair since I've been paying more towards the mortgage and all that, she added. This guy and his patriarchal bullshit can take a hike. The mom added a few clarifications at the end to explain more about his bizarre behavior. And BTW, the girls are his stepdaughters, not biological daughters, she wrote, which shouldn't even matter, but apparently it does to this guy. He even made a comment about asking their bio dad to pay to build a room in the house. Of course he was being sarcastic. Whoa, jealous much? He's acting like a toddler. She also added that he's had the dog for 4 years, and he is super overprotective of him. There's always a fuss in the house because he thinks that my family and friends scare the dog and give him bad vibes, and so he provides him with his own space, she wrote. Dog sleeping most of the time in that room, doesn't even do anything with all the stuff my husband put inside. Basically wasted space in my opinion. It's been like this since my girls and I moved in. It's his house, so there isn't much I could do to change it. T sounds like he has major pride issues that need to be addressed, as he's trying to give his dog equal weight to the kids. It's okay for pets to be a part of the family, but this is going way too far. And it's hurting the kids, too. Also, my 16-year-old isn't having it, the mom added. She's telling me that she'd go live with her grandma if this scenario happens, which makes it even worse. Now I feel stuck between a rock and a hard place. Even before this happened, he's always thought it'd be better if the girls shared a room, but I insisted on my older getting a room for herself. He thought that would divide the girls and put distance between them, but in my opinion, a 10-year-old and a 16-year-old siblings don't spend much time together anyway. Exceptions when my older is watching her sister when I go out of town. She also said that she isn't entertaining the idea of having the dog and baby share a room. While the dog is pretty much quiet and not active, I still have concerns, she wrote. The Reddit comments section was far from quiet and not active, coming alive with comments about this ridiculous dad. NTA. Dogs don't need their own room. Dogs are cool, but they are pets. There is no compromise, one person wrote. Humans get a room over dogs. NTA. I'm scared to know how this guy is going to act when there's a baby in the house, another commented. A whole room for a dog. I'm all for pets being treated like family, but come on. The only bad vibes in this house are coming from him. I'm sorry, this is a no-brainer. NTA. Someone else wrote. Your husband is though. A dog does not need a room to himself. They have the whole FC King house to sleep and lounge in. A dog does not need a room more than a newborn baby. Your husband is a controlling asshat. Couldn't agree more. NTA, you need to neuter him before there are any more problems, another said. Seriously, this man should definitely not be procreating anymore with that attitude. One person had the perfect solution. Put your husband in the room with the dog and the bassinet with you, they wrote. Exactly. If the dog's room is so important, he can sleep there, too. You've made your doggy bed, sir, now go lie in it.